This is Fight Fans Radio.
What's up, MMA fans? Welcome to episode 43 of the MMA Pulse. It is September 19th, and wow, it's fight week once again. It's been quite some time since the last UFC event, but this Saturday there's finally going to be UFC 152, and it's a pretty stacked card. I mean, take away the John Jones and Belfort, I still think the card is really stacked. That's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. Going to do some predictions, our thoughts on some of the undercard fights maybe. But pretty much since it's been a while since we've had a fight card to talk about, we're gonna pretty much primarily talk about that. Last week we didn't have Jared, but the guys returned from the picket line. Paid him enough bubblegum packs for him to come back to the show. You there, man?
Yes, sir. I am here.
Are you happy now with all the bubble gum?
I am. It'll last me about a week or two.
It'll last you a week, and then you'll go back to the picket line and ask for more.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to rob a liquor store or something and stock up on some bubble gum for you.
Well, you can pay me in Jack instead, and that'll probably last. Or I shouldn't say last longer, but it may pay me off longer.
I'll just start paying you in alcohol, and they'll just get belligerent, and I'll make you sign, your life away or something. Oh, you didn't like that idea.
I already signed my life away. Sorry.
Damn
it's already
it.
been
You signed it away twice?
I don't know. I think that's illegal, but I can try.
We'll try it. So it's like I said in the intro, we're finally getting to talk about an upcoming fight card and not about injuries and fight cards that are happening a month down the road or didn't happen at all, but we actually get to talk about fights coming up.
Woohoo!
I know. I know, and it's actually a pretty decent fight card, really. I mean, even the undercard bouts, they had moved a couple over from 151, so it's 12 fights instead of the usual 10 or 11. But I mean, there's some hidden gems on the undercard, like the Evan Dunham and T.J. Grant. The one that I'm really looking forward to, the Marcus Brimage versus Jimmy Hayes fight. I think that one's probably gonna steal the show at least for the undercard.
Nice, yeah. I think there's a lot of good fights. I think the one that's kind of surprising to me that's on the undercard, I mean, I guess looking at the rest of the card, it makes sense. But that it's a Facebook fight, not even on FX, is the Kyle versus Brenneman fight. You're talking about two guys who have been on, pay-per-view cards or been on televised cards several times, and now they're the first fight of the night on Facebook. Yeah,
and that might be a cause of the fact that one was on 151, and then they moved it over, and having already moved John Jones onto the card and knocked everybody down, maybe they just put it there because they didn't want to knock anybody farther down the line, or. But I actually, if I do recall correctly, I believe the Brenneman Noak fight was the first fight that was supposed to happen at 151. I might be mistaken, but I do think that it was the opening bout for that card too. So maybe they just slid it right over and right into that position.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was supposed to be the first Facebook fight on that one as well. But maybe they're just trying to draw people back to Facebook for whatever reason. Maybe Facebook's paying them for viewership. I have no idea, but it's just kind of interesting for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple fights on there. The two that I mentioned. I mean, even the Vinny Margulis fight, could be on the main card, especially when you have like Matt Hamill versus Roger. What is it, Hollett? I mean, that one, Hamill's been out for a while, where he was retired for. So it's like that one. I'm not really sure how that one made it on the main card with some of the other undercard fights, but I mean, from top to bottom, it's a pretty good card, and I think that considering we haven't had a fight card in a UFC fight card, I should say, but there's been other ones. This will be a really good event to jumpstart going into towards the end of the year. Where, I mean, after this fight card, there's I think 4 weeks in a row where we get a fight card.
Yeah, something like that. It's weird. I just saw that. I was just looking here, and it looks like the UFC on Fuel. It's on a Saturday. It's a Saturday card, which is kind of interesting.
Well, that's the one that's in England, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the reason is because of the time difference. It's actually in the early. It's early Saturday because at Saturday night is the Strikeforce event. So it's like you're gonna in the daytime you're gonna have the UFC, and then night you have the Strikeforce. So you just sit down in your recliner in front of your TV and watch MMA all day.
Yeah, if I had Fuel TV.
You always cry about that.
I will cry until Comcast decides to pick him up.
Might want to try crying to them, maybe. It might help.
I have.
Okay.
They just ignore me. Just most, like most women.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna watch it, because I'll be in Sacramento for the Strikeforce. I'm actually just gonna stay out there, even though it's like an hour and a half drive from my house. But I'm gonna go out there Friday for the weigh-ins and then just stay there until Sunday. So I'm not sure if my hotel has Fuel TV, so I might not be able to watch it.
You know what has Fuel TV?
Does a bar have it?
Yes.
And then I'll be at the bar.
And you can show up to cover the fights drunk. Awesome.
I'm telling you, I won't be the first one if I did. I've seen them drinking before.
I've seen people drink at the press table while they're covering fights. So
it's awesome. So let's do some predictions here. It's been a while. I don't know if we can remember even how to do it, but let's just do the main card. Let's start with the first fight on the main card, which is a featherweight bout between Cub Swanson and Charles Oliveira. How do you see that one going?
Oh man, it kind of is a coin flip. I'm gonna go with Cub Swanson by knockout.
Nice. We're gonna be different on this one. I think it's gonna be a stand-up fight and definitely a really good intro to the pay-per-view. I mean, I don't see the fight going to the ground. I see them standing and trading, but I'm actually going to go with Oliveira by TKO on this one. It's different. Awesome.
Interesting, yeah.
Next up is the light heavyweight fight between Matt Hamill and Roger Hollett. I got this one kind of like being the downer of the main card. It's like you're going to have this really good fight leading into it with Oliveira and Swanson, and then I think this one's going to be kind of a grinding fight. Hamill's been out for a while, and he's got the wrestling background, and I mean his opponent's more of the jiu-jitsu. So I just think that Hamill is going to use his strength and basically top control, but it's not going to be anything spectacular. So I'm going by Hamill by decision.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Hamill by decision while I'm at the fridge grabbing another beer.
Yeah. Go bathroom break or something.
Yeah.
Next up is the middleweight bout between Michael Bisping and Brian Stann. How do you see this one playing out?
This one's an interesting one for me because I'm not really sure. I'm trying to, I don't know if Bisping can handle Stan's strength is kind of one of my questions. But at the same time, I don't know if
Sorry about that.
Brian Stann is going to be able to handle the well-roundedness of Bisping.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are wondering is everyone sees Brian Stann as the heavy-handed striker, and if the fight were to go to the ground, that he gets choked out, and Bisping primarily keeps the fight standing too, but he's got probably the better ground game. I actually am going to pick Bisping by submission on this fight, just for that reason that we might actually see Bisping be the aggressor to take the fight to the ground.
I'm not a fan of Bisping, so I always choose against him. So I'm going to say Stann by ground and pound.
Stann by ground and pound. You like how Bisping really hasn't done any trash talking towards Stann. He's decided to take it out on a 125 pounder.
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of that. I didn't get to see it all, but yeah, who was he talking trash to? Is Benavidez?
Yeah.
I didn't see all of it.
I think Benavidez said he hits harder than Bisping, and he's probably right. But Bisping's decided to use him as his motivation for the fight, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So let's get into the flyweight title fight. I think this is my pick to be fight of the night. I think it's going to be 25 minutes of back and forth action. Where these guys are arguably the probably one of the fastest guys in the hands wise and stuff. So I think you're probably going to go with Johnson, but I'm going to take Benavidez on this fight by decision.
You're right. I'm going with Johnson by decision.
So far we've done 4 fights and we've only got one that were the same. So I guess that's good.
Yeah, I'm glad you're okay being wrong. So
I guess we'll just have to see then. I'd be okay being wrong with the Michael Bisping one, to be quite honest. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Dan Henderson knockout part 2 or something.
That would be amazing.
The internet will blow up with pictures of him getting knocked out and everyone laughing. I would be down with that.
Yeah, I absolutely would support that.
So the last fight of the night is probably gonna be a letdown. We got the John Jones taking on Vitor Belfort for the light heavyweight championship, and I'm going with Jones by TKO, probably maybe even more like a knockout. I know Belfort's got the puncher's chance, but I think other than that, unless he can get inside the reach of John Jones and land, something nasty, I just don't see the fight lasting long and Jones being in any harm.
Yeah. I want to pick Belfort, but I'm not an idiot, so I'll go with Jones by
Questionable, you know.
by TKO.
All right, so we got two the same and three wrong. So next week, one of us will have bragging rights, and the other one will be incredibly wrong. Right?
Yeah, but that's okay.
So you'll have the bragging rights. Is what the plan is then?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if you can call it a plan when it's a guarantee, but
Damn, that's crazy, man.
I know craziness.
Craziness. So you don't have FX either, then, huh?
No, I have FX.
You just don't have fuel. That's weird.
Right.
I thought you didn't have both. Why would you not have fuel?
I don't know.
Oh
Why don't you?
Yeah, I remember Comcast. They didn't have those.
Yeah, why don't you ask them? Why are you asking me all these hard questions? Stop it.
I asked them. I just left them. You just need to say laters.
Peace.
So, did you hear about Frank Mir?
Who?
Frankie Mir?
Who?
That guy. You know who I'm talking about.
No.
No, you didn't hear about it?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
You know, the guy who was going to the strike force and...
Yeah, he's injured. Now he can't fight. And blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
I was kind of crazy last night. The whole... I don't know if you were around, but like Sports Rage, which is a radio show, they actually broke that Mir was injured. They're out of Vegas. The guy's name that does it is eluding me right now, but he actually went and had made the announcement that Mir was injured and out of the fight with Cormier, but he didn't cite anybody. You know, he's just on the radio saying it, and you know, then he followed it up with you know, in about a half hour the news will break. So I spent like the next half hour trying to get it confirmed, and I couldn't get it confirmed. And sure enough, a half hour later, MMA Junkie's over there breaking the story. So it's like I wasted like a half hour trying to come up with the lead and failed miserably at it.
Damn those big sites.
I know. What are you gonna do? Not much I can do. I mean, I was contacting all the people surrounding him. I guess what ended up, he didn't even know until after Junkie had broke it.
He didn't know he was out of the fight?
No, Mir knew, you dum-dum. Cormier didn't know.
Oh, I was like, Mir didn't know he was out of his own fight?
Someone walks up to Mir, hey, you're injured, and then hits him.
It probably wouldn't be the first time.
No. So now, you know, the last final Strikeforce heavyweight fight's got only one person fighting in it, and you know, who do they get? I mean, it was kind of a weird thing for Mir to move over and you know, from the UFC and do it. So I was looking at the roster, and I really couldn't come up with you know, someone that made, you know, sense. And then Fabricio Werdum actually had you know, made mention that he would step in and do it. And I got to think about it. It was like that kind of is really the best option, you know, looking at the current UFC roster. I mean, there is no roster for Strikeforce, so you're gonna have to bring somebody over unless you sign somebody from the outside. I mean, I know I saw people saying, you know, Andre Arlovski or Tim Sylvia, or even some people were saying Fedor, which just is kind of laughing, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you see making sense?
They're either going to have to sign someone new or bring someone else over that makes sense for him to fight to be a worthy fight.
Right, because I mean, the way that this was shaping up was that if Cormier went in there and whooped ass, there was a chance that he could actually get the title shot. So
Right.
it's not like bring in, you know, Mark Hunt and bring him over to fight him, and then he gets to, Cormier wins, and then you go, oh, he gets a title shot now.
Yeah, what happened to Mark Hunt? Like,
Like-
there was the rally for Mark Hunt, and
And then he lost. Didn't he lose?
no, I don't think he ever fought. Did he?
Thought he- That one, the man, we're horrible. You know that.
Yeah, it's like we're supposed to like follow MMA and stuff, and
I-
no, his last win was at 144 against Congo.
Oh yeah. So because, well, there you go. We'll break the news. He's gonna be fighting. No, I'm just kidding.
There you have it, folks.
Surprised he isn't fighting on the Australia card.
Yeah,
So they make that because they're still putting that card together, but most of that card's going to be the Ultimate Fighter guys. What are they calling it? The smashes.
yeah,
but-
the UK versus Australia.
Yeah, I mean I think he fought at the last Australia card they had.
Yeah, he beat Chris Turkshire or whatever.
For sure. So yeah, that would be. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing with bringing Mir over was kind of weird to begin with, and now they got to come up with a new person, and it, I mean, DC was fighting in what was it, Oklahoma, which is I think near where he went to school at.
Yeah,
So
it is.
Just not having that fight, so they got to find somebody.
Yeah, I mean it's like
It's
I
too
said,
bad. Alistair Overeem couldn't come back. You can punish him by telling him he's got to go over to the Strike Force again.
that would be funny. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the biggest thing is you have to make it a meaningful fight. Otherwise, it's yeah, he fought, but who did he really fight?
Right. I mean, if you're trying to build him like it seems like they're trying to do, you just can't. I mean, you couldn't bring in an Orlovsky or a Tim Sylvia and have anybody go, oh, that's a cool fight. They'll just laugh at you.
Yeah.
I mean, Werdum made sense. One that did make sense. Did you see Roy Nelson was on he was on the Score in Canada and said that he would step in to fight Cormier?
No, I didn't.
I was like, dude, don't you remember you're fighting? We already got a fight lined up in December, dude.
I can't even stand to listen to that guy anymore.
I like. Did you watch the Fighter first episode?
Yeah.
I like. He tells the fighter, just get into the house, and Dana White says, "Don't listen to him."
Yeah. Dana White's like, he's dumb. Just stop.
He's a big dum-dum. Don't listen to him.
It's true.
It is true. Speaking of the Ultimate Fighter, how many episodes are we going to get in before we actually see Shane Carwin smile? Like never?
Never.
I mean, like all the promos that they did and like the pictures, like when they went to see the Sons of Anarchy premiere, all the tough coaches went there. He looked like somebody just stepped on his toe or something. He looks pissed all the time.
Oh yeah,
It's like
that's how it.
And he's like pissed off at the world.
Oh yeah, I've seen him several times in person when I lived in Colorado, and he'd come to the local fights, or I saw him at Grudge a few times, and I don't know if I've ever seen him smile.
It'll be Christmas. Maybe like when he beats up on Roy Nelson, he'll smile at the end.
But what's funny is he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
I mean, I've talked to him before, but it's just like I see all these pictures and I just want to yell. I just yell at the TV and the screen and be like, "Dude, it's a half a smile, something,
A smirk at least.
something." I mean, like even when like they were like watching the fights, he'd like stand up. He just still had that like straight face, like dude just got knocked the fuck out, and he's just like,
Yeah.
bad. So I think we've I think we're done, man. I'm done talking to you. Is that okay?
Jesus. It's not very nice.
Just kidding. Are you back next week though? You're not gonna like run off and go again, or
I don't know. After that comment, I might.
because next vacation, you got to invite me.
No, you did. You didn't invite me on your witch hunt the other night.
That was my is Frank Mir really hurt? That was my witch hunt.
Oh,
Told you all about it.
jeez. See, if you would have invited me, we maybe could have broke it before Junkie.
I doubt it.
Whatever. What's that?
Junkie knows everything, man.
That's true.
They
They
know
have
who
spot.
fights before the fights even happen. That's how good they are.
They have spies in other news organizations' camps. Malky Kawa's their agent.
Damn spies. So, if you guys are on that little thing that's called Twitter, make sure you follow Jared because he needs more followers. His Twitter handle is Mr. Buttons WA. Mine is Josh Wood MMA. You can follow the show at the MMA Pulse. Make sure you follow FightFans Radio. Check out the website. If you're listening to the show, you're probably already on the website, so never mind. But if you're on like Stitcher or Ustream, then make sure you guys check out FightFansRadio.com. And also check out MMAValor.com and follow them on Twitter at MMAValor. We'll be back next week to recap UFC 152, and we'll also talk about the UFC on Fuel and Strike. Other than that, I'm out.
That would be peace.